Hey everyone, welcome to Quick Break Games, where we cover everything LEGO gaming, and welcome to a brand new video for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, the big new LEGO game coming out at some point in the future from TT Games. We still don't have an actual release date on that, and I want to make this video because there's a couple things I want to talk about. First off, obviously, we have E3 2021 coming up later this weekend, and we're all kind of hoping that Skywalker Saga shows up there. So we're going to be talking about when we can expect that news to come, and also what we could possibly see there. And then I also want to talk about an update on this whole WB Games situation with the merging with Discovery and all this business related stuff. So I want to talk about that first. So let's go ahead and get into that. So in this video, we're going to be reading a couple articles, and a link to these articles are always in the description if you want to read it for yourself under the sources section. So if you want to read along, feel free to do that, but it'll also be on screen here for you guys to read. So this is an article from VG247. It says Warner Bros. Discovery set to be WB Games' new corporate owner. It says WB Games, the games division of Warner Brothers, may have dodged a possible rearrangement as a result of WarnerMedia's merger with Discovery, which some suggested could give WarnerMedia owner AT&T hold of some game studios while the rest move to the new company. There's currently no indication that this is the plan. A press release issued Tuesday listed WB Games among the core brands that will now exist under the umbrella of Warner Bros. Discovery, the proposed new name of the two media giants. This is all contingent on the usual regulatory approvals, but it looks like WB Games teams will remain together under the same banner. WB Games owns and operates 11 game studios, developing and publishing everything from big AAA projects to mobile free-to-play games. And then it lists off all their studios. The one we're focused about on this channel is, of course, TT Games. It says, outside of name-dropping WB Games, the press release doesn't mention any specific plans for the group. So, essentially, what this is talking about is, I explained this in another video a couple weeks ago, but we have AT&T who owns WarnerMedia, which is under WB Games and TT Games and all that. So they're splitting off into a new company with Discovery, another company, so they're merging into a new big company. And there was a lot of confusion about what was going to happen with WB Games. Some people are speculating that some of the companies within WB Games would stay within AT&T and others would go along with this new company, but it appears what this article is saying is that everything with WB Games is going to be under this new company, which is now being called Warner Bros. Discovery. So to me, that's good news. That means TT Games is going to be under this new company. They're not being split up or sold off or anything like that. I guess they could still be sold off at a later point. We don't really know what's going on there. Obviously, with all the articles talking about this Discovery, they're always talking about the big executives and everything, are always talking about the movies and TV shows and streaming possibilities. They don't really discuss the video game aspect as much, so maybe they don't even want anything to do with video games, and maybe they'll just sell off WB Games or something. Who knows what's going on there? But it's kind of hard to say that because it's also making them a lot of money. So we'll have to see what goes on there, but it seems like at the time being, WB Games and most importantly TT Games is going to stay under this new company called Warner Bros. Discovery, so they're not being split up. So I think that's a good sign. None of this stuff is going on until about a year from now at the earliest, so like summer 2022. So everything's kind of staying the same for now as they get all of the business arrangements dealt with for this big merger. But yeah, I think this is good news, and hopefully it won't negatively affect any future games after Skywalker Saga. And yeah, I think this is awesome stuff here. So of course, the next thing I want to talk about in this video is E3 2021, and we're going to be reading an article from Engadget.com. This again is linked in the description if you want to read it yourself. It says the official E3 2021 schedule includes Take-Two, Gearbox, and WB Games. That's the one we care about because they own TT Games, which makes LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga as well as other LEGO games too. So it says, with the start of E3 2021 a little more than a week away, the Electronic Software Association has shared the official schedule for the 4-day virtual event. So it's going to kick off at Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, June 12th. And let's get to actually what we care about for this video. It says, as previously announced, Microsoft and Bethesda will host their joint virtual conference on June 13th at 1 p.m. That same day, fans can also look forward to a special presentation from Square Enix as well as the PC Gaming Show. Okay, here's the important part. At some point during the Sunday broadcast, Warner Bros. Games will also make an appearance. We haven't heard much from the studio since it delayed Hogwarts Legacy to 2022 at the start of the year. We expect we could get a fresh look at the game then. So that's really the important news here is Sunday, June 13th is when we can expect potentially LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga to show up there. At the time of recording this video, they still haven't specifically announced that game is going to be at this event, so hopefully it is. We've had some signs that it's going to show up there, like the TT Games Twitter account started following E3 Twitter account and stuff like this. So I think there's a good chance that the game does show up here. I mean, this is the highest chance of any other event of the year. E3 is the biggest one, so surely it should show up there. If it doesn't show up here, then You know, we're looking at maybe a delay to 2022 or something for this game. But yeah, so it's going to be sometime during Sunday. It's interesting they don't have a specific time for it. Maybe that will be out by the time you guys are watching this video. I am recording this a few days in advance, but yeah, it's going to appear sometime during Sunday. So I think they could actually show up during Microsoft's event here at 1 p.m. on June 13th. Sunday, because if you remember, LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga was initially revealed at E3 2019 on a Sunday at Microsoft's event, so they could actually show the game off again there. I think that would be pretty cool if they showed off Skywalker Saga. We could actually see what the game looks like in actual, like, a extended gameplay demo. That's kind of also what I want to talk about in this video, is what we can actually expect if we do get Skywalker Saga here. So the first thing I really want to see is a gameplay demo, as I just mentioned. I want to see maybe a level from maybe the newer movies, because episode 8 and 9 have not been covered in any previous LEGO game before. So I think it would be cool if they showed off maybe a level from one of those two movies. I'm not sure who they would have actually breaking down the gameplay, because Arthur Parsons, as you guys know, recently left the company. He was the guy that used to always do that. He's been doing it for like over 20 years. And it's unfortunate he left, so I guess they're going to have to find somebody else from TT Games to do this. Or maybe it's all virtual, so maybe there won't even be somebody explaining it. It'll just be kind of something that you watch. So yeah, I expect a gameplay demo, and hopefully we'll get a solid release date. That's really what I want to see from this event, so we can stop speculating when this game's coming out. Because we went from just a vague window of 2020 to a slightly better window of spring 2021, to where now we have nothing. Like, they really didn't even say it's still coming out in 2021. I personally think it is, but heck, it still could be coming out in 2022. Who knows? So hopefully we'll get a solid release date, like an exact date that they can give us, so we can kind of plan ahead for that. I don't really want to make a prediction, because it's kind of hard to say with all these delays. Obviously, I've been wrong a lot in the past, because this game's just been so up in the air. But I guess if I had to make a prediction right now, I'm going to guess the game is going to release on October 19th, 2021. The reason I do this is because, one, it's a Tuesday, and pretty much all LEGO games in the past have released on Tuesdays, so I think that's a good sign. And then this would also put it at exactly 1 year from when it was originally supposed to come out, before any of the delays. As we know, the game leaked that it was coming out on October 20th, 2020, and so October 19th of this year is essentially the same Tuesday, just 1 year later. So that's kind of my prediction as of right now. So maybe the game can come earlier, maybe it's going to come later, who knows. But that's kind of my prediction right now. Hopefully we get that solid date. They don't just give us another vague window like fall 2021 or 2022 or something. Hopefully they give us like an exact date, if they can do that, because this game's been delayed a lot. Like, surely they can give us something like that now. And a couple other questions I want to see answered during E3 2021 is the whole online play. I've talked a lot about this. They kind of hinted at online play back at E3 2019, 2 years ago. They were actually directly asked about it, and they replied that they have new technology. Like, someone from TT Games actually said that. They didn't say no. They said they have new technology, I guess in reference to online play. So hopefully they confirm online play. That would be a pretty big deal, and that would actually make sense why the game's getting delayed so much, because we know the game has a brand new engine that takes time to make, lots of bugs they have to fix and stuff like that. We know this is the biggest LEGO game ever, but on top of that, if they're doing online play as well, that would also create a lot more work for them, so that would also kind of explain why this game's taking so long. So hopefully we get online play as well. That would be great. And then I also want to see an answer to whether the game has mumbling or grunting or not. Once again, at E3 2019, they kind of hinted that they were going to look into adding a mumbling option to the game. So hopefully they did that. And again, that's another thing that would kind of explain why they're taking so long, because if you have a mumbling option in the game, that would require them to redo or reanimate all the cutscenes in the game, because the cutscenes are going to look different if the LEGO minifigures are actually talking, or if they're just kind of making grunts and stuff like that. So that would require a lot of work as well. So hopefully we're going to answer to those two questions at E3, and other than that, that's kind of what I expect. Hopefully the game is going to be there. I think it will be in some capacity. Again, if it doesn't show up here, then I don't know when to expect more news at that point, but hopefully that's not the case. So let me know what you guys think about this news. Do you think we're going to see Skywalker Saga on Sunday, June 13th? What do you want to see? Do you want to see a gameplay demo like I mentioned? Do you want to know if the game has online play and mumbling? Hopefully we get answers to all that stuff, so let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want to be notified right when the newest videos come out. We're covering all the latest in Skywalker Saga. We also cover everything with LEGO games, like mini kit guides and stuff like that. So there's just a lot of content. So if you like LEGO games, I'd recommend subscribing. I don't think you'll regret it. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Brick Games.